Lisa sits alone in a dark room. She's very depressed. Her husband was brutally murdered by ruthless gangsters in Brazil. After learning that her husband was executed to cover up a corruption scandal, Lisa, an ex-Special Forces soldier, heads to Brazil for revenge. Armed with skills, explosives, and pure rage, she fights her way through a world of crime and corruption, determined to uncover the truth and make those responsible to pay. The movie begins with Lisa sitting in a psychiatrist's office. She has been drowning in deep depression ever since losing her only son to cancer. Lisa's grief is only deepened by her husband, Eric, who should be her emotional anchor. Consumed by his demanding profession, Eric frequently works abroad on high-stakes missions, leaving Lisa to face her sorrow alone, making her loss feel even more unbearable. Before she became a housewife, she was part of the elite French Special Forces, a woman forged in strength and resilience. Lisa's training had once given her a sense of strength, purpose, and courage. But the devastating loss of her son shattered all of that, leaving her emotionally broken. Eric's job in the Customs Operational Division takes up most of his time, often keeping him away from home for long periods. His absence feels like a constant reminder that she's left to face her pain alone, with no one to lean on. The growing emotional distance between them troubles her deeply. Lisa often thinks back to the moment she first met Eric. It was during a dangerous counter-terrorism mission, a time when they worked closely together, relying on each other's strength and trust. 6 months later, they found out they were going to have a child. But after their son was born, Lisa made a difficult decision. She chose to leave the military. Lisa was filled with joy that Eric was finally returning to France the next day. A man named Pixo had forced Eric into a dangerous clash with a powerful gangster. Back in France, National Directorate of Intelligence and Customs Investigations, Romy received news that sent shockwaves through her. The report was devastating. Eric was dead! The details were grim. He had been caught in a deadly dispute with drug dealers who had accused him of wrongdoing. Romy delivered another heartbreaking blow to Lisa. She informed her that Eric's body must remain in Brazil for identification and legal procedure. After losing both her beloved son and her devoted husband, she reached for the bottle of Fex, the sleeping medicine Eric used to take. She swallowed a massive dose. At the same moment, her phone vibrated. A message from Romy stared back at her. It's a reminder. We leave for Brazil today. The next day, Lisa and Romy arrived in Rio de Janeiro, the crushing weight of loss pressing on Lisa's heart. At the morgue, her breath caught as she saw Eric's lifeless body, riddled with bullet wounds. A wave of desperation. She couldn't let this end here. Fueled by grief and fury, Lisa snatched the memory card from Eric's phone. She hacked into it, desperate to uncover the truth behind his death. As she watched, the pieces fell into place. The sleeping medication Eric had taken, the same ones she had once trusted, like Fubhex, were likely counterfeit. The weight of the discovery crushed her. At the same time, Romy insisted that Eric wasn't assigned to investigate the case, but she had already found the pills in her home. As they dug deeper, they discovered that Eric had been receiving regular emails from an Interpol agent named Richard. This raised even more suspicions. Was Richard spying on Eric? The next morning, Romy decided to return to France. But Lisa couldn't leave. Not yet. She vowed to stay in Brazil. Lisa, determined to get answers, visits the police station to ask about the progress of her husband's case. The officers tell her the investigation is still ongoing. But, with a sigh, they mention that a murder happens every 9 minutes in Brazil, making it hard to keep up. Later, Lisa notices something strange. A photo of Pixel near Eric's house, which she steals from the area. Determined, she rents a room in a hostel located in a dangerous slum area. Through the window, she sees a man buying narcotics from an arms dealer. Without hesitation, she approaches the man and makes a bold move. She announces that she's there to buy a firearm. Without question, he takes her to a location where she will meet an illegal gun dealer disguised as a tailor. Lisa flashed a large stack of cash, her eyes unwavering. The woman, intrigued, gestured for her men to bring out the weapons. Before Lisa could proceed, the atmosphere shifted sharply. The men whispered among themselves, their gazes turning suspicious. "She's a cop!" A fierce fight erupts. When the fight ends, as she demands, "Where is Pixel?" After gathering enough information, Lisa buys a used car. and begins her hunt for Pixel. But her journey isn't easy. Pixel's reputation precedes him. People seem afraid to speak his name. Finally, a nervous woman agrees to help. Whispering Pixel's location to Lisa, Lisa tracks Pixel to a crowded club. She finds him in a VIP section, surrounded by his men. "You killed my husband," she says. Pixel tries to dismiss her, but before he can act, Lisa pulls out a grenade and hurls it toward them. The explosion shakes the room, and as a result, Lisa eliminates Pixel's guards one by one. Lisa, standing over him, her face like stone, demands, "Who ordered you to kill Eric?" Lisa's unrelenting pressure breaks him. Under torture, he finally confesses, Police Chief Inspector Luis Alves was the one who gave the order. The next day, Police Chief Inspector Luis Alves receives a chilling call from Pixel's phone. He doesn't know it's Lisa, curious to see him and find out where he lives. The next day, as Luis stepped out of his apartment, a boy threw dirt at him, ruining his clothes. Furious, Luis chased the boy, only to be led into a basement. There, 2 others were waiting, ready to trap him inside. Luis quickly noticed fuel covering the floor. Before he could react, Lisa appeared above him, demanding answers about her husband's death. Terrified, Luis confessed. He had hidden drugs and money in Eric's room, framing him as a drug dealer. He also admitted he was paid to cover it up by Arturo Pereira, a private security company owner. Hearing this, she snatched Luis's phone, lit her lighter, and threw it to the floor, watching as the room erupted in flames. That night, Lisa uncovers that Vita's boss, Andre Barbosa, is Arturo's top client. Determined, she contacts Arturo and arranges a meeting for the next day, posing as a wealthy woman. When they meet, Lisa tells Arturo she needs security for her daughter, who will be attending school nearby. She also claims to own a villa, but reveals a photo of Eric instead. Realizing it's a setup, as he tries to call for help, Lisa grabs him, choking him until he passes out. When Arturo regains consciousness, he's tied to a chair. A fishing hook is lodged in his throat, connected to a line attached to the door handle. If the door opens completely, the hook will rip out. Calm but menacing, Lisa demands a meeting with Barbosa. Arturo insists he only contacts him through email, but admits it's his job to protect Barbosa's son, Junior. He reluctantly hands Lisa a tablet containing crucial information about Barbosa's whereabouts. Once she took her medication, Lisa carefully opens the door, leaving Arturo tied up. The guards rush to reach him, but the locked door keeps them out. When they finally break through, the fishing line tightens, cruelly catching Arturo's tongue. Meanwhile, Lisa slips out of the building unnoticed. News of the incident spreads quickly, and police review CCTV footage, identifying Lisa as the culprit. Now a fugitive, she's seen in another city, watching Junior being escorted by his bodyguard. As the bodyguard returns, Lisa confronts him, aiming a gun and forcing him into her car. She initially plans to kill him, but hesitates when she notices the bond he shares with his son. In that tense moment, the bodyguard admits how embarrassed he feels working for Barbosa, but explains he has no choice. He needs to provide for his family. He asks his son to leave the car, hands Lisa his business card, and offers to help her take down Barbosa to protect his family. The bodyguard then tells Lisa to shoot him in the stomach. Later, Junior returns to the car, only to find Lisa ordering him to drive. When they reach the outskirts of the city, Lisa reveals that his father, Barbosa, killed her husband. She forces Junior to call his father at gunpoint. Barbosa, who has always wanted to get rid of Junior, orders Lisa to kill him. Without hesitation, Lisa pulls the trigger, but she doesn't kill him. Instead, Junior confesses that his father's company, VDA, was making fake medications, which Lisa's husband had been investigating. It turns out that Eric had been planning to return to France and expose everything. If he succeeded, Barbosa, the ministers, and everyone involved, upon hearing this, Lisa insists that Junior take her to the VDA factory. They arrive, and Junior, being the vice president, easily gains access. Meanwhile, Lisa detonates a bomb in her car before entering the factory with him. Tension builds. A hired soldier named Roy suddenly realizes Lisa is a fugitive, and the air grows thick with danger. While inside, Junior reveals the shocking truth. VDA is copying Thubhex's serial numbers, making fake products. Every VDA box mirrors a real Thubhex product. He also tells Lisa that hired soldiers force, including children, to work in harsh conditions. A security guard, unaware of Junior's status, tries to stop them. Without hesitation, Lisa shoots him. Lisa and Junior shout urgently, urging the workers to escape. In the chaos, Junior is shot. Bleeding and writhing in pain, he pleads for Lisa to hand him a grenade. As Lisa turns to leave, memories of her husband and son overwhelm her. She decides to stay, sacrificing herself to destroy the factory once and for all. Moments later, villagers find Lisa unconscious. They carry her to their village, where a shaman examines her. As he discovers she's pregnant, in her unconscious state, Lisa sees Eric and her son in a dream. The vision fades, and she becomes aware of her pregnancy just before waking. At first, she's heartbroken to find she's still alive, but the shaman's news gives her a glimmer of hope. A few days later, the shaman allows Lisa to wander around the settlement. As she explores, Lisa notices many villagers suffering from severe skin conditions. Realizing the dire situation, Lisa contacts Romy and explains what's happening in the village. She also admits to destroying the factory and pleads for his help to evacuate her. At first, Romy is hesitant, thinking Lisa has gone too far. But when she reveals her pregnancy, his resolve softens. Meanwhile, Barbosa, furious over the factory's destruction, orders his soldiers to track Lisa down at any cost. Shortly after, Romy contacts Lisa, telling her the extraction is approved, and a team will be there in 5 hours. He also reveals that Richard, the Interpol agent who had worked with Eric, is on his way to help him. At the same time, Roy and his men are heading to the village. When Richard arrives, he urgently tells Lisa to leave before Barbosa's men show up. She says goodbye to Marta and her daughter, who have taken care of her. As Lisa and Richard leave, Barbosa's soldiers arrive, forcing the villagers to reveal Lisa's location, as Marta stays silent. But a villager betrays her, and Marta is separated from her daughter. A sniper meets Lisa and Richard at the extraction point, tension thick in the air. When the helicopter arrives, the team eliminates the sniper and fights off Roy's men. The sound of gunfire fills the air, and in the fierce battle, Roy kills Richard. Lisa's breath is heavy, adrenaline coursing through her veins as she's successfully rescued and flown to France, where Romy greets her. A few days later, Barbosa watches the news about an international arrest warrant against him. But just as he laughs off the news, his bodyguard kills him. In the end, Lisa and her daughter live peacefully in a cottage in the forest. The girl asks about her father's death, but Lisa says, "It's more important how he lived." She sees her husband's shadow smiling at them through the window as she feels his presence one last time.